All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about something I think a lot of us feel. That huge gap between knowing a ton about money and actually seeing your bank account grow. That's the gap we're going to close. You've probably read all the books, listened to the podcasts, watched the videos. You might even know more about personal finance than your friends. And yet, you feel stuck. The numbers just don't seem to reflect all that knowledge you've got stored up, right? And this quote, this just nails it. That feeling you have that the gap between what you know and what you do keeps getting bigger, you're not imagining it. That gap is the real enemy here, and it's why all that great information isn't turning into wealth.
So you see, this isn't really a knowledge problem at all. It's an implementation problem. We get caught in this knowledge trap where we're always looking for that next tip, that next secret, thinking that'll be the one that changes everything. But what really needs to change is our whole approach.
I mean, get this. Out of 100 really solid money tips, the average person only acts on about 5 of them. 5! That's all the proof you need that just hearing advice, no matter how brilliant it is, isn't enough to actually create change.
Okay, so if collecting more tips isn't the answer, then what is? Well, the solution is to stop chasing all these random tactics and start rewiring the way we think. We need to lock in a few core principles that totally change how we interact with money.
And here is the first and maybe most powerful principle. Think about it. If the average person is financially stressed and you do what the average person does, you're probably going to end up financially stressed too. To get a different result, you have to be willing to act differently. Which leads us straight to our next principle, and this is a big one. Build systems, not goals. A goal like, I want to save $10,000, relies completely on willpower, and we all know willpower runs out. But a system, like automatically transferring money to your savings every payday, that runs on autopilot. The system achieves the goal for you. Now, to build the right systems, you need a clear target. And that target is your freedom number. This isn't some vague dream like, I want to be a millionaire. No, this is a specific, mathematical reality. It's the exact amount of money you need invested so that it can pay for your life forever. It turns financial freedom from a fantasy into an engineering problem you can actually solve.
So, with that new mindset, where do we start? We start by automating our financial life and pointing all our energy where it's going to have the biggest possible impact. Forget about the small stuff for a minute. We're hunting for the big wins.
And where are those big wins? Well, they're right here. Housing, transportation, and food. These are the big 3. They eat up the biggest chunk of pretty much everyone's budget. Just optimizing one of these areas has a ridiculously larger impact than cutting out every single latte for the rest of your life. And to really put that in perspective for you, making one good decision about a cheaper apartment or a more affordable car can save you more money than skipping over 1,000 coffees. That's one decision made one time with a massive ripple effect. And for all that other random impulse spending, here's another dead simple system, the 30-day rule. You want something that's not essential? Fine, write it down and just wait 30 days. You would be shocked at how often that impulse just evaporates. It's like a cooling off period for your wallet. And speaking of easy wins, the average person spends over $200 a month on subscriptions they've either forgotten about or just don't use anymore. That is a huge leak in your financial boat. You could plug that hole forever with just a quick 30-minute audit.
So everything we've talked about so far has really been about defense, optimizing your spending, plugging the leaks. But you can't win a game just by playing defense. Now it's time to go on offense, and that means actively and strategically building your income.
And this distinction right here is absolutely critical. An unscalable hustle, like driving for a rideshare service, is you trading your time directly for money. You eventually hit a ceiling because there are only so many hours in a day. But a scalable hustle, like creating content or building a digital product, you're building an asset, something that can work for you even when you're sleeping. Now, when it comes to investing all that income you're building, this is one of the most powerful ideas you can ever grasp. Trying to perfectly predict the market's daily ups and downs is a fool's game. Real, life-changing wealth is built by simply staying invested over long periods of time. And that's exactly why you shouldn't waste a single second worrying about investing at the perfect moment. Instead, just focus on investing the same amount, automatically, every single month. It's that boring, simple consistency, not perfect timing, that builds truly incredible wealth over the decades.
The ultimate goal when you're playing offense is to build multiple streams of income.
Because when you have money coming in from different places, losing any single one of them, even your main job, is no longer a complete catastrophe. It's resilience, it's freedom.
Okay, so we've covered the mindset, we've covered defense, and we've gone over offense. But honestly, all of this, it all boils down to one final crucial idea. This is the one thing that separates the people who succeed from the people who stay stuck forever.
So after hearing all this, after consuming probably hundreds of money tips in your life, which one is it? Which is the one tip that actually unlocks everything else?
It's this. That's it. Take action. All the knowledge in the world is completely useless if it just stays rattling around inside your head. The secret ingredient, the catalyst that activates everything else, is simply to start, to do something.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway. That gap you feel between where you are today and where you want to be, it's not an information gap. You probably know enough already. The gap is an action gap. So the only question that matters now is, what's the one action you're going to take this week?